Hey everyone, what's up? What is going on? Welcome to the show. Whew. It has been a journey. Good journey though. I can't complain. Good to be back, sort of, kind of. Um, Not gonna lie. I don't know if it's like it. It's good to be back, and then it's not good to be back. I'm gonna be honest with you. Hey Falco, thanks for joining. And thank you all for joining me, even if you're rewatching this later. Appreciate that as well. Uh, but if you are watching us live, thank you. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you share it. Feel free to leave some comments, super chats, whatever you'd like. If you're watching this later on, you can send a thanks. You can leave comments below. You can share it as well. You can like it as well. All of that's good. All of that helps. And all of that is much appreciated. I'm very tired today. We just got back yesterday afternoon and yeah, it's cold here in England. I'm not happy about that. I am in sweats and a sweatshirt and under the covers because I'm cold. And 2 days ago, I was sweating my ass off in my bathing suit. I'm not happy about that. But I am happy to be back with you guys. So I don't really have a plan today. I thought we'd chat and catch up a little bit. Um, you guys tell me what you want to do. I could do a quick react if you want. We could just do a quick chat. I could read out some comments and answer some questions. Whatever. We're gonna do low key fly by the seat of our pants kind of live stream today. Um so we're gonna talk a little bit about our trip and see where see where it goes. So the first thing I wanted to talk about was something I'm really, really pleased about with our trip. So we had planned to go to Greece. That's where we were for like 10 days. And we've been planning it for several months. And I personally was very excited because I have been wanting to visit Greece since I was like 12 or 13 and always wanted to go and even said, when I die, my ashes need to be sprinkled over Greece because just in case I never get there while I'm alive, then I'll be able to see it when I'm dead. Um, Turns out I got to create a new plan for that, but sidebar. So I was very excited when we were able to plan it. I made sure everybody picked out a couple things they wanted to make sure they did while we were there, and we did the best we could to plan a really relaxing vacation, but fit everything in. And when we set our budget, it was a little bit early on in the planning process, and the prices for flights went up a bit. So when we were trying to book our flights, we realized that we would have to have a stopover somewhere probably in order to fit it in the budget that we had set, not go over budget. And this stopover happened to be in Milan, Italy. And the child happens to be really obsessed with Milan and really wanted to visit there and had it on the list for when we do our Italy trip, which whenever that'll be in the future. So we figured since we had the opportunity that we could add an extra day to the trip and have a day in Milan with the child. Keep the child happy. And we were going to surprise her. This is It's a gift, birthday slash Christmas slash probably another birthday. Um, so we were really good about keeping the secret, which is very unusual for not me, but we ended up keeping the secret, and we said we're just going to go to the airport and we're going to just let her figure it out. At some point, it's going to click, that we're not going to Greece, or we're going somewhere else. So we're walking around the airport, doing everything that we're doing, and waiting for our gate to come up. And we're like, she still hasn't figured it out. And it clearly says Milano and Millipede. Millipense, it might be. Um, Gate comes up, go right to the gate, get through all the checks and everything we have to, and get to the gate, about to board the plane, still has no idea. Finally, we're like, gotta tell her. Gotta tell her, right? We were able to keep the whole secret all the way up until getting on the plane, and she was very excited about it. She was very, very happy, and, ended up enjoying it and thriving in ways that we'd never thought. It was a beautiful city. Milan is amazing. I really liked it a lot. I got to have real pizza, which was incredible. I got to see some really fun and cool things, and got to hear a bunch of people assume the child was from Italy because her Italian was so good, which is incredible as well. So that part was cool. It was a great way to start off the trip. Greece was also amazing. Athens was incredible with all the history and all the sights, and it definitely didn't disappoint. But I was a little depressed about it, to be honest. Um, it kind of depressed me because it didn't kind of depress me. It definitely depressed me because I Greece is I mean, I knew Greece was a very poor country. I knew Athens was a poor city, but it just hits home in a different way when you see it visually, right? And we're at the Parthenon and we're seeing this amazing structure. We're walking down from the Acropolis to the museum, and there's just graffiti everywhere, abandoned buildings everywhere, tent encampments, randomly showing up, and you're just like, one side is this gorgeous structure and this beautiful park, and history that's been there for thousands of years, and then you turn to the other side and it's, oh, these poor people that have no place to go and can barely enjoy it. Hi TJ, thank you for joining. So that made me a little bit it was just unsettling. It was just one of those like things that just kept catching me off guard. I would be enjoying myself, I'd be excited, I'd be happy, and then I'd see this poor derelict building and these people, kind of hanging out. It was really not fun. That wasn't a fun part of the trip. But seeing all the structures that I've wanted to see for so long in the museum, I got yelled at because I kept taking pictures of stuff I shouldn't have been taking pictures of. Got yelled at by a lot of people in Greek. Um, that was a lot of fun. What else did we do while we were in Athens? We saw the Parthenon. So we went to the Parthenon. We saw the Muses, the Temple of Zeus, the Temple of Athena. We saw the I forgot the name of it, but the original Olympic Stadium. That was really, really cool. We saw Plaka, which is a really cool little neighborhood with like restaurants and shops and stuff. Um, yeah, we lots of like olive groves, and we just walked around. Oh, Hadrian's Library. It was good. It was really good. It was a lot of fun, and I really enjoyed Athens. Those parts of Athens. Hi, Piper. And then after a day or two in Athens, we went to one of the islands called Naxos, which is a beautiful island. I highly recommend it. Um, the ferry ride was interesting, especially because I get a little seasick and I had no motion sickness pills. But I toughed it out and it was okay. Um, we stopped at a few ports. We got to see the port of Tinos. We got to see Mykonos, and I can't remember the last island, the port that we stopped in, and then we got to Naxos after that. And Naxos is really beautiful, but again, there's like the town area is really, really beautiful. There's lots of gorgeous houses, and obviously, there's lots of people with boats in the harbor, and there's a beautiful castle there, and there's the Temple of Apollo's there. Um, and there's just lots of beaches and stuff, and it's really, really pretty. But if you go a little bit outside the city, where our villa was actually, because our villa was on outside the city on the hills, so that I could, because I always wanted the view. And we got to, I mean, it was a gorgeous villa, don't get me wrong, it was great, and the views were fantastic. But I mean, in between the villa and the city part, again, was pretty kinda run down and derelict, and lots of, you know, dried land that hadn't, like, farmed properly or taken care of properly, and lots of people with it's just poor. It's just really poor there. That was kinda depressing. It didn't have the same kind of polish and glamour that Milan had, um, or that I guess I was expecting. I don't know. But I still had a great time. It was still fun, and we made the most of it, and everybody was so warm, so welcoming. Everyone was really friendly and just really wanted to show us a good time. Um, we went on a boat trip, so we got to swim in the Aegean Sea, in the open sea, which was cool because 'cause I'd never done that before. Jumping off the side of a boat, never done that before. Jumped off a small little cliff, never done that before. Uh, did a little bit of snorkeling and stuff like that. That was fun. Lots of beaches, and then lounging around by the pool and just eating really great food and just, relaxing. It was great. It was really great. It was warm, and it was sunny, and it was calm. There weren't any storms or anything, and we had a banging time. And loved it, and then we came back to England, and we're cold, and it's windy. Ah, ah. It's so funny how it's just a short plane ride, it just completely changes your just everything completely changes. It's really funny. Um, but it was beautiful. It was so much fun and such a good time, and I definitely recommend it. Um Just be prepared because it is very, very poor. TJ said, "Unfortunately, holiday brochures only show the best bits." Yeah, I mean, I'm not naive. I knew that was gonna happen. I knew that happens everywhere you go, right? But it was just so strange when we're walking down from the Acropolis to the museum. There's this big path, right? And the Acropolis is on one side, and then you have to go down, I don't know, like a mile maybe, and that's where the museum is. And there's just a bunch of like abandoned buildings along the way and everything. So you just like even the touristy spots typically, at least what I'm used to is like the touristy spots, right? Where a lot of people are gonna go, where you're gonna make some money, usually get kind of spruced up in that area, right? But it wasn't even like that. So I guess that's why I was so shocked about it. But it was gorgeous, fun. Again, I'd recommend it. We like over tipped everybody that we could. We tried to visit some like local bakeries and stuff. to help out, which we would do anyway, but we definitely wanted to, go out of our way to try to find local businesses and local taxi services and stuff because we just really wanted to help out while we could. It was good though. We rented a couple apartments instead of like staying in hotels and stuff, so that I'm sure that helped out too. Piper Charm said, sounds pretty. What was my favorite part of the trip? Yeah, it sounds similar to when I was a teenager. I went to Costa Rica, very pretty place, amazing animals, but very poor areas. Yeah, I think that's just the way it is in countries like that, where like tourism is the basic economy, right? The basis of the economy. Then all you do is, they rely on that so much, and that's really all they have. Otherwise, um, yeah, my favorite part of the trip, though, honestly, my favorite part of the trip was I jumped off a little cliff, but the child jumped off a huge, like, going all the way up to the top and jumped off into the water. That was kinda fun to see because she's super brave about it, and, that was great. Um, it was honest I don't know if I could pick one thing, but just being able to swim in the open sea was probably the second for me because I have this thing where I wanna visit every continent and swim in every ocean and sea. Or at least tip my toe into every ocean and sea, because I realize there's gonna be some out there that I probably don't wanna swim in, but, it was really, really cool to be able to swim in the open waters like that and stuff, which I had never really done before. So that's probably one of my favorite parts. There's also a really cool moment where I apologize, I don't know what that whistling is, I think it's something outside, so I apologize if y'all hear that. Um, there was this really cool moment where we were fine, our weather was perfectly fine, but there was, either heat lightning or some kind of storm happening on one of the other islands down the way. Because it's so clear, you can see so far, we could see the clouds and everything, and we could see the lightning and the clouds lighting up with the lightning and everything, and that was really, really cool. Just sitting on our balcony watching it. I've never seen anything like that before. We've seen some heat lighting and stuff when I was a kid when I was in America, but, I'd never seen it like that before. And then I just started imagining, like, there's an argument happening on the street. Not sure what's going on. Sorry, that's super distracting. Um, so, we were just sitting there, and I'm sitting there watching this awesome light show basically inside the clouds, and I'm imagining what it was like, 1,000 years ago, 2,000 years ago, watching this and thinking, "Yep, some, like, random goat herder or somebody is like, 'Goddamn Zeus is pissed tonight.'" And, like, I could see why, they thought that a god lived there and was pissed or was mad and that was going a little bit crazy with the storm and creating a storm or whatever. It was just really interesting, such an amazing culture, and the food was phenomenal. We didn't even eat that much because it was hot and everything, but everything we ate was fantastic. So, me, I always talk about food, so food it is. So the foods we tasted that were local, um, lucamares, which are like a donut with we had cinnamon and honey on ours, and it was really good. Slovaki, that was my favorite. It's like grilled skewered meat, basically. Greek salad, obviously. Still not a fan of olives. Tried it there. Wasn't a fan before, but thought I'll try it while I'm there. Still not a fan. Feta, the same. It was better in Greece, but I still didn't like it that much. But obviously the rest of the stuff in the salad I loved and it was delicious. Um, they'd use like this cool salad with red onions, tomatoes, and boiled potatoes, but it was all within olive oil and stuff, and that was really good. Moussaka, which is good. A bit heavy, but still delicious. Let's see. I think we had a Greek pizza once. We cooked a lot because we had a villa, so we cooked a little bit as well, like breakfast and stuff like that. Oh, we have I can't remember what it's called, but it's like a spinach flaky pie with cheese. That was really good. Greek coffee was really strong, which we expected, but it was good. Um, and it was just fun. We just got to relax a bit, and we made sure we had a couple days where we were relaxing. Uh, but going in the sea is always fun. I love it, and the boat trip was really fun. The ferry rides weren't that bad either. The one on the way back was better because we were able to upgrade to business class because it wasn't as expensive, and we got better and more comfortable seats. And I remembered my motion sickness pills. So it was a lot easier trip back for me. Um, yeah, and just really, really, really nice to be able to just kind of soak up culture, soak up all the culture and stuff there. I enjoyed it very, very much. I had an amazing time, and I would definitely recommend going if you can. It's really not that expensive. We thought it was gonna be a lot more expensive than it was. The most money I think we spent the most money on transportation, like between the ferries, getting to and from the mainland, and then taxis because we didn't rent a car. I think we spent the most money on that, to be honest. Uh, Obviously flights and the villa, but they really weren't that expensive, and we booked well in advance so we could pay it off before we got there. So, but yeah, it was a lot of fun, and I definitely, definitely recommend. My American youth who ever visited me, I gave her the choice, Beatles or beach with statues. She chose the beach, shoes off, and walked in the water. Yeah, that's what I do. I remember when I went to Australia, my sister actually studied for a semester abroad in Australia, and I went to visit her one time, and uh, she was like, "You know, one of the what do you want to do when I get there?" And I said, "Oh, the first thing I want to do is be able to step into the beach, to step in the water." No, I went in like winter. I think it was like it might have been around this time, like maybe November, December time. Um, and it was cold. I couldn't swim or anything. What? No, it's the opposite. So it must have been like May or June, right? Because it's the opposite temperature, I think. They're below the equator. Anyways, it was their winter time. So I couldn't swim or anything, but I definitely like walked around in the water and everything. And she thought I was crazy, but it was totally worth it. So I totally feel your friend. I don't know if it's just me because I grew up in New Jersey where there's a lot of beach and it's a beachy kind of state, or if it's just me personally, or if it's an American thing. But absolutely love the beach and have to visit as many as I can. Hi, Chris. Welcome. I had an amazing time. Thank you. Don't even worry about being late. It is totally, totally cool. I appreciate you being here. So yeah, that's where I am. I'm really tired. So we got back yesterday afternoon. And then we had to do some food shopping and stuff because we had nothing in the house and laundry, and we all had to work and go back to school today. So still recovering a little bit, and got some news that there's some family stuff going on. Of course, there always is. Nothing bad, but just some stuff that's gonna take some attention. So that's a little bit annoying, only because it would be nice to have a couple days to just chill. But it'll be fine. Hopefully, we can plan another trip soon. Chris, did you end up going to Poland? What did you think? How was it? I'd love to hear about it. So what's going on with you guys? I hope you aren't too mad at me for not doing the live stream in Greece, but we were kind of busy. And I probably could have done it and squeezed it in, but we were just having such a good time, and I didn't wanna disrupt the flow with the family. I hope you guys don't mind, but we were what can I say? It's on vacation. I still got some commentary and some, content out there for you guys, so it was hot, like 34 degrees. Oh my gosh. Wait, it was 34 degrees in Poland? It's like 26 or 27 in Greece. Dang. That is crazy. I didn't realize. Yeah, I mean, I know it's still kind of like summery weather in a lot of areas, but I didn't realize Poland would be that hot. Is it just was it a freak thing or thanks, I appreciate your understanding, Piper. Um, Poland's either hot or very cold. It gets to -30. I didn't realize that. Interesting. It was unseasonably warm. I would think. Interesting. Because we do want to go to Poland, so it's good information to have. I gotta plan it accordingly. All right, y'all. I need to send a reminder to like and share, um, because I see there's only like 7 likes. That's come on. We could do better than that. It's free. It costs nothing. All you got to do is hit that little thumbs up. And if you're not a subscriber, consider subscribing. I'm just saying, like, it's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool channel, if I must say so myself. We hit over 2,500 subscribers while I was away, and I was very ecstatic to see that, and very, 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 very grateful. So thank you to everybody that is getting the word out, and everybody that is subscribed, and anyone that's even just giving us a chance and joining us. I am very, very grateful. This was I have to admit, I'm a little rusty, obviously, because 'cause I've been away from doing this, and a lot of the stuff that I did during while I was away, I kinda did ahead of time. But I did kinda miss streaming, so by the time, like, it was, like, Friday or something, I was like, "Maybe I coulda squeezed in a random live stream." I was like, "I kinda missed them. I hope everybody's good. I hope they'll still be there when I get back." I did, I missed this. I missed just chatting with you guys and just catching up. Was it raining when I got back? I always find it funny when I come back from a holiday, it's raining in England when I arrive by plane, like, "Welcome back to England." It wasn't raining actually when we landed, but it was cloudy and it had a really cold wind. But from what I understand, because I get alerts on my phone, right? Because I walk when I'm here, so I didn't turn the alerts off or anything. But it was raining most of the time that we were in Greece. It was raining here, so I did find that kind of funny. You went to Krakow and Auschwitz. So how was it? Was if I mean, as much as you want to talk about it, obviously. Thank you for hitting the likes. Um, yeah, it was Krakow. Krakow's like, is that the capital? Poland? Don't think I'm a silly American, but I've heard it's pretty cool there actually. Uh, how long did you go for? I'd like to go to Poland and visit. I'd like to go everywhere, to be honest with you. I think I've said this before on the on the stream, but I if I could just travel and do stuff like this, I would. That would be my heaven. That would be like my dream, to just be able to do stuff online. And I don't mind working or anything like that either. It's just, but be able to work like on the go and travel whilst I work, and that would be like the ultimate dream. Uh, that would be amazing. But at the moment, not in the cards. Maybe in a few years or something. We'll see how it goes. First, I have to get my visa renewed, and then I have to get some dual citizenship, and then we can see what happens from there. So I'm kind of stuck. I gotta tell you, it did suck going to work today, though, especially because I'm not, as I've told you guys before, the job is not my favorite. And I got back, and within like an hour starting, I was like, Warsaw is the capital. Yes, you're right. Krakow is where Schindler had his factory. It's still there. Did you tour the factory? I bet that was kind of cool. That would be cool to see. I would totally go there. What country would I like to go to next? I'm hoping to go back to Spain next year. Oh, I would like to go to Spain. Spain would be easy for us because we should have we have we know people that live there. But of course, I do want to try to go to Madrid and Barcelona at some point. Um, we talked about uh maybe Italy as a whole, but we want to do like all of Italy, right? Because we want to go to Florence, we want to do Venice if we can, Rome, and Milan was on the list. I don't know if it'll still be on the list now since we've done it. So we were talking about doing like a whole 2 weeks in Italy. So I don't know if we could do that yet because that's a big trip. So with my visa expense and stuff, we might have to push that back a year or so. Plus, I have a family that will be having some events coming up over the next couple of years as well in America, so that's also a big trip. So if we decide to go to those events, so that's kind of where we are, stuck in the middle sometimes. But any country that I haven't been to yet, so that would include a lot. uh and I have to like think of other countries that I would be interested in. Like, I have to kind of rank them, right? I have to put them on a list and put them in order of what I really want to make sure I get off my list and what is not, something I could wait on. I want to visit Scandinavia. I want to visit Eastern Europe. I want to visit, like Turkey. I want to visit Morocco, and someday I'd like to visit Egypt, possibly the Middle East and India. Asia, I mean, Japan, I'd love to go to Tokyo. Uh, I would love to visit other countries in Africa, and I've never been to South America either. So I would love to go to like Argentina would be tough uh, from the British side standpoint, but like Brazil or something like that would be really fun too. Malta is that one of the islands off the edge of Spain? Yeah, you only had the weekend there. Yeah, that's what sucks, right? Is sometimes you only have a short amount of time. You don't get to see everything in the city. Um, I didn't know there was a castle in Poland, but that makes sense now that I think about it. I would think there's lots and lots to see. So Piper says if you go to Spain, you have to go to visit Granada, which I've heard actually. Visit Alhambra and Nasrid palaces. Honestly, amazing. Oh, I'm sure they are. I would love to see them. Malta, south of Sicily. Oh, okay. Uh, maybe Malta. Why not? Hi, Lee. Welcome. Thank you. You're going to Krakow on Sunday. Chris was saying that he just came back from Poland. It's very, very cool. Where would you guys recommend that I go? Being someone from America that doesn't hasn't really been to Europe at all. I've seen Paris and I've seen Amsterdam. So where else would you recommend? Give me like your top 3 of what you would recommend if I was saying, "Hey, you guys tell me where to go on my next trip." I've never been to Italy before, so I'd love to go there. My next big trip I have booked is New Zealand, excited and nervous. Okay, New Zealand, I have not been there, but I also know people who live there. And they say it's amazing. Um if it's anything like Australia, I'm sure it's fantastic. And I'm gonna just make a guess here, Piper, but I'm guessing you're probably nervous about the long flight because it's a long flight. But it's really not that bad if you can sleep for most of it and watch a couple movies. But it's a long flight. Budapest. Yes, I do want to see Budapest and Vienna. Vienna would be beautiful, and Germany. Yes, I've heard Germany. We're gonna try to do Germany, not this coming Christmas, maybe next Christmas for like there's the Christmas markets and stuff apparently are incredible. We definitely want to do that. Any of the Canary or Greek islands. Well, I just came back from a Greek island, so if I don't have to duplicate, I won't. But if there was something I was going to duplicate, it would be a Greek island. Let's be fair. uh, Bergen in Norway was nice but rainy. Hi, shot. Is it Shakes 86? Nice. Uh, yeah, I mentioned Scandinavia. I would love to go to Scandinavia. I've heard Austria is beautiful as well. Yes, that would be on my list as well. See, like I said, if I could, I would just go to every single city and the outliers of the city as well because I like that part too. I don't just like the touristy spots. I like the actual like community culture spots. I would just take trains to all through, Europe and then end up in Asia and I would just go everywhere if I could. It's just a little expensive and it's tough when you have a family. I'm biased since it's my first solo trip and I'm trying to learn Spanish, but a tour around Spain is amazing and I definitely recommend. Oh, you know what? That would be cool. See, I didn't think about like a tour around. We were talking about because people we know live on the west coast or towards the west of Spain. So we're talking about going to like Madrid, then see them, and then Barcelona because I think that's how it goes. Um, but yeah, I'm sure I would love to. Yeah, I'm sure it'd be a lot to see, and it would be cool to see Portugal too. So maybe if we could like swing it through that way or something. I don't know. We'll see. Naples. From there, you can visit Pompeii. That would be good. Naples is something I didn't think of, but that's a good one. I'll throw that in my in the mix for Italy. I always try to avoid eating in the tourist spots. Yeah, we did that. You came late, Chris, but I was talking about how when we were in Greece, we were in a villa, and even when we were in Athens as well, we like visited some local bakeries and stuff like that and ate at home instead, just to save a little bit of money because it's a bigger trip. We had some add-ons, but we love doing stuff like that and we love like talking to the local people and all the food that we got from like local areas was incredible. We did eat once in like a touristy spot. We wanted like a good seafood dish on the water kind of vibe. and it was a little bit overpriced, but it was really, really good. Um, and we had fish and stuff, so it was delicious. But it was yeah, we I try not to avoid touristy spot. I try to avoid touristy spots in eating because it's just usually overpriced. And I just, guys, I've told you, excuse me, I can be really cheap. I don't cheap out on stuff that is important. Like if it's a really good experience or if it's something I really want, then I'll definitely spend the money if I have it. But I don't see spending money on things like $4 on a bottle of water when I can go a block away and get it for two, right? Like that, just like that kind of stuff. Plus, I feel like going to like local shops and getting things like, bread or meat or something and cooking it yourself, or getting going to a grocery store. Like we went to a Greek grocery store, we went to a grocery store in Milan as well. You just get a different vibe. You get, a sense of what like locals kind of eat and all that kind of stuff. So it made sense. We had Greek cereal, which was not very good. um but what was the other thing? Oh, we had Greek bacon, which was really good. And there was something else that we bought. Oh, it was like just Greek lunch meat, like just, to make some sandwiches or whatever. And it was delicious. And the bread was really good. Like it was just plain like white loaf of bread that was local. And it was really good. So it's just those types of things. But sometimes, you know, you got to be a little touristy sometimes just because they're fun. Like the boat trip we took, it was fun. It was touristy. It was expensive, but it was fun. It was worth it. Yeah, it was a long flight. Yeah. Piper, good luck. I know there's nothing you could do but just accept that it's a long flight. I remember I flew by myself um as well, and there's a couple sitting next to me that had done the trip this is when I went to Australia. And there's a couple next to me that had done the trip a couple times, and they were like, sleep. Just sleep as much as you can, and that'll help so much. And it was an overnight flight, so that helped a lot too. And I'm not a good flyer because I get sick, so I take, like, Dramamine or whatever, and it usually knocks me out for a little while too. So, that would be my recommendation passed along from those, lovely folks that helped me out. Stockholm is on your bucket list? I don't know, Stockholm would be cool. I've visited Spain 3 times so far. Twice it was with a tour agency called GAD Adventures, and they were great, and I met people from around the world. 3rd time, I went to a Spanish school in Granada for 2 weeks. They were fantastic, and I did small tours in my free time. Look at you! Go Piper. Well done. Did I bring back any Greek booze like Metaxa Iraqi? No, I didn't, but I did have some good Greek booze. A little bit. No, I didn't drink that much, to be honest with you, because there's so much, like, walking and, boating that makes me sick anyway. So, we didn't get too crazy or anything, and, we bought a bottle of Johnny Walker Red for the villa that we polished off before we left. Uh, I didn't really have much Greek booze, to be honest. I'm not a huge drinker anymore. I used to be. I just I'll have, like, a glass of wine, or I'll have like, a drink or 2, but I especially when we're on vacation, it's just expensive, so, like, I don't like spending the money on that when I can spend it on something else. Plus, I wanna remember the trips too, and I'm always worried that if I just, like, because I remember the first time I had sake, and I remember the beginning of dinner and getting sake. I think I had 2 shots of sake, and but I don't even remember for sure, and I just like, "Oh, yes, this is fine," and then next thing I know, it's, like, the next day, I was like, "What the fuck happened?" And luckily, it's with people that I trust and everything, but I, Yeah. So I don't know, I'm a little bit tentative about doing stuff like that. Plus we had the child with us, so I don't like doing stuff like that around the child. Not just like example, it's just I grew up with an alcoholic parent, so uh I try to, and lots of alcoholics in the family. So I just try to kind of be a little bit more responsible about that, especially when she's around. 7-star Metaxa. What is that? Is that a whiskey or is that like a vodka? What kind is that? Lisa stopped off at Corsica during a Mediterranean cruise 10 years ago. Very pretty. Oh my gosh, a Mediterranean cruise? On paper, it sounds great, but I'm wondering if I could actually do a cruise. I'm worried about the motion sickness and stuff because we had a 4.5 hour ferry ride. And even with my medicine and everything, I was ready to get off the boat by then. So, hmm. Wow, look at you, Piper. You're amazing. My daughter has a knack for languages, and she does not. Spanish isn't on her list, but I'm going to try to add it to her because I know it's such a big language in the world. Um, but I'm always really, really impressed with anyone that can remember even a little bit of language. We uh we learned a couple phrases in Greek just so that we like didn't come off as completely obnoxious tourists. Um, but that they all thought my daughter was Greek. They all thought she was Italian when we were in Italy. It was hilarious. It's a brandy. Oh, brandy. Uh, it depends on the brandy. I'm hit or miss with brandy, but I hear you. You know me, I like my bourbon, so I like it a little bit because brandy's a little bit sweeter sometimes. That might be why I don't like it. I've gone off sweets as I've gotten in my old age. Did a 14-night Caribbean cruise in April. Nice. See, so a cruise might be okay because sometimes you stop for like right and you can get off the boat for a bit. Like I don't know. It's just me and my motion sickness. I don't know if I could do it. It's the whole we did a boat trip, right? It's the whole day after the boat trip. I was every time I closed my eyes, I felt the waves. So I don't know. Yeah, that's perfect explanation. I love travel, travel doesn't like me. It does not do well with me. But I fight through it because it's worth it. Once we get there, it's worth it. I'd love to go to Tokyo too, Chris. It's on our list. We're definitely it's on the entire family has it on their list. So Tokyo is on there. I love it. Um What's my favorite alcoholic drink? I don't really have one. I've never liked the taste of alcohol. I like things when I can't taste the alcohol. My favorite alcohol drink is Wild Turkey, which is an American bourbon that is made in Tennessee, which is one of the southern states in America. And I mix it with unsweetened iced tea. That's my favorite. It's not really a drink necessarily, although a bartender I once knew called it TNT because it's turkey and tea, but also because it's kind of potent. Because wild turkey is not for anyone that you probably wouldn't like it, Piper, because it definitely tastes like strong bourbon. Um, but I really like the way it tastes with unsweetened iced tea, and that's usually my go-to drink. But it's hard to find wild turkey here. So when I can't have something like that, when I can't have that specifically, then I'll usually have like a Malibu and Diet Coke or something like that. Or I've discovered since I've come to England, an old fashioned, which is kind of good. A little sweet, but kind of good. So I just have them do it with like lighter syrup, like light on the syrup, but it's it's not bad. Maybe makes me really, really old, but it's not that bad. Cabo Verde is still on the underrated side for now, but it's becoming more popular. Uh, oh no, I was thinking Cabo San Lucas because that is a big thing in America. That's what you threw me off a little bit there. Yeah, I've not heard of Cabo Verde, but I'll definitely look it up. Cabo San Lucas is a big thing for West Coasters in America. Cherry brandy is your favorite. It has to be Decatur, though. It's so funny, right? How you develop these tastes for a very specific liquor, like, as you get older, it's not just like, "Oh, I like rum," or "I like vodka." It's like, "No, I like this brand of rum," or "I like this brand of bourbon specifically," and I can even taste the difference between, like, Wild Turkey Proof 80 and Wild Turkey Proof 101. And I'm like, if I'm gonna have it, I'm gonna have the 101. I'm not even gonna settle for anything else. And, like, I don't even like Jack Daniels that much because I'm just my constitution's set to wild turkey, and that's what I want. Off the west coast of Off the coast of West Africa, north of the Canaries. Okay. Yeah, that would be really cool to do, like, a cruise in that area. I think that would be fun. Look, I literally will go anywhere. I will try anything once. Twice if it's good. Thank you for all these suggestions. I can't wait. Making note of all of these. I can't wait to go to everywhere, and I'll tell you. I'll tell you every time I reach them. I've got a liter bottle of Jack Daniels hiding up in the garage. Don't tell the miss. Your secret's safe with me. That's funny. Why, are you really bad when you drink it? Is that the problem? I'm like that with, tequila. I get really, really punchy and, literally punchy. I wanna start a fight with everybody when I drink tequila. Oh, not a good look for me. It's okay if I have it, like, in a margarita or something and I don't have too many, but if I start shooting it, you're that's it, you're done. 2 couple shots of tequila and I'm in everybody's face trying to pick a fight. Oh. Ooh, excuse me. So I try to stay away from tequila straight anyways. Had to turn down the volume to stop her drinking. Oh, good woman. You got a good woman. Good partner there. You get a bottle of Jack as a Christmas present from husband? Yeah, Jack is big here. Which I didn't expect. I don't know why. I just like because I guess because it's very American. So I didn't know it was such a big liquor here, but I'm not as big a fan. I feel like I just feel like Wild Turkey is a little bit smoother. I even think that Southern Comfort is a little bit smoother. I don't know if you guys have ever had that here. It's similar um, than Jack Daniels. I think Jack Daniels, personally, for me, is a little overrated, to be honest. It's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. I don't hate it or anything. And if it's the only thing that's around, I'm happy to drink it. But it's just not my preference by far. There's a couple others I prefer better. Jack the So I don't know if they did it here in England, but TGI Fridays, the restaurant, had a Jack Daniels menu at one point, where they put Jack Daniels in a lot of the sauces and a lot of the like they put the bourbon and some of the coatings on the chicken and stuff like that. And it was delicious. Um, but the alcohol cooks off and stuff. But it was really, really good. I don't know if I think it was capitalizing on the fact that Jack is one of the bigger bourbons in America. Most people know it. So, uh, I don't know. I just always thought it was a little bit I always liked Wild Turkey better. TJ says she's a happy drunk unless someone wants to have a go, then I'm nasty. That's kinda where I am now, TJ. Like, I don't drink past the, like, getting happy point anymore, really. I just drink till I get to that happy, and then I try to maintain that. But I have to say, when I'm on tequila, I do get nasty. Southern Comfort, yes, Southern Comfort. See, TJ knows what's up with some lime, shooting that stuff. Bringing back my youth. Chris says, when I was in the post office, I used to get about 10 bottles of booze from my customers at Christmas, plus 500 pounds cash, plus chocolate. People are very, very generous around the holidays here in England, especially. They kind of are in America, but I gotta be honest, the most Americans tend to forget people like their postman or their local service provider in some way. Uh, but here y'all this is just my complete random like thought process behind it, but I think it's probably because you only have Christmas here, really. Like, you don't always only have Christmas, obviously, but you have different religions and different people here. But it's the primary holiday here, and in America, it's still the primary holiday in America, but there's just this like societal thing where you have to include all of it, and so it's more of a happy holidays thing. And because they all land at different times of the month and all of that kind of stuff, I think people just don't go as crazy with service, tipping like that, as they do here in England. That's just my very humble, limited opinion. But Jim Beam's pretty popular in the US as well. Yeah, Jim Beam's good call. Nice shout out there, Lee. Oh, Lee's a postman. Nice. My partner was a postman before he came to America, actually. Postman, good job. All right, y'all. I'm gonna end it there. It's been about an hour and I am beat. And I have to do this again tomorrow. I have to work tomorrow instead of just go swimming. Sad day for me. Just kidding. Thank you all for joining me. I really, really appreciate it. Make sure you hit that like button if you haven't already. Shout out to the moderators. Appreciate your help with keeping us all honest and keeping us all focused. And hey, there's going to be some vlogs coming out, maybe some bonus content Thursday if I can get to it, and definitely a vlog out on Saturday. And in the meantime, check out all the other stuff that's out there and make sure that you send me any comments, questions, concerns. You can put them in the chat. You can always put them in the comments section below when I post this, or you can send me an email at the Hickson Diaries at gmail.com. And, if you have any ideas, suggestions, all that kind of stuff, then happy to have a discussion with you. I'm way behind on comments, and I am behind on getting back to emails, but I will do that soon. I have a plan. Promise. There's knew that after the trip that I would get back to work. So lots of stuff going on, but I promise you I will get back with all of you soon. I appreciate you guys coming. It was so good to catch up with y'all. Have a great rest of your week, and I will talk to you very soon. Love y'all. Bye.